my fellow limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you doing on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? How's everything going? Are you ready for Christmas? Or is Hanukkah still happening? Or even Kwanzaa? Anything else I'm forgetting? Are you all ready? Are you prepared? I'm not either. No, I'm not either, but I will. Let's jump right in. This is a special video. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the Dropbox below. They are in the screens that just went by. I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have a channel membership, and I have decided that the new channel membership will start after the new year. I've decided because I don't see me being able to fit it in before then, just because of the holidays and my newer, tighter schedule. I'm trying to think, but it's still coming because I can't wait for it. Hot seat coaching. Let's see what else. That's it. Okay, this video. Oh wait, I'm doing laundry, so my washing machine's making a fuck ton of noise right now. You're gonna hear it. Okay, nothing I can do about it. Clothes that need to be washed. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing my man's Carhartt t-shirt. There's a long story about Carhartts and him, and I will fill you in on that someday. But anyway, I have so much to fill you in on. It's fucking crazy, but I'll make a big video about it. Anyway, enough about that, right? Enough about me, bitch. Let's get to the topic. So this video is kind of a serious video. It's kind of a serious subject. It's the holidays. It's the holidays. No matter what you practice, what you believe in, what you celebrate, it is holiday time. And one of our very special HBICs who spoils me rotten, there are several of you that do, this special HBIC asked me to make this video because she herself has been in a similar scenario. And, you know, she's got such a sweet and caring heart that she's concerned about any of you out there that might be experiencing this. And I agree 100% with her. So I'm not sure what the title of the video is, but when we are manifesting love, a specific person through the holidays, loneliness can be prevalent. Loneliness, fear, unhappiness at thinking you're going to spend another holiday alone. Or, in my opinion, even worse, perhaps you have lost a loved one or a loved fur baby during this time. Or maybe during this time in the past. And that's something that you get reminded of around the holidays. So the holidays, although most of us love them, it's, you know, some of our favorite time of the year, it certainly is mine. Manifesting love through this time, and especially if we're not seeing movement, can be extremely painful and disappointing. And I want to be able to bring some of you some peace in regards to this. Now, right from the top, is it possible for you to manifest by Christmas? Yes, without question. Without question. So don't close your mind off to that possibility simply because it's December 13th. Don't do that to yourself because the possibility is absolutely there. However, if you are someone that is struggling to believe in that possibility and you think it's too late, I understand that too, but let's not completely close your mind to, who knows, the day after Christmas. Don't limit yourself. Try not to. Now, although some of you might be struggling during this time, I want to say, most importantly, you were not brought to this planet, to this earth, right? You were not brought here and then awakened to your ability to manifest, to never experience the joys of life, especially the joys of experiencing a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. Now, with manifestation, it might not cure the pain of loss, maybe of a child, of a parent, of a sibling, any family member, any friend, any fur babies. It might not quell that pain. But through time and through manifesting yourself peace, you can feel better. However, there's no pressure for you to feel better, and your feelings are always valid. The way you feel is always valid, no matter what. And I think sometimes it gets misinterpreted in this community that we should not be feeling emotions. We should not be, responding to our 3D. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Suppressing emotions is damaging. It's damaging to yourself. It certainly is. It can create dis-ease, as Neville Goddard refers to. And we don't want to do that because we don't want to carry the pain or the fear of further loss forward. And when you experience something so extremely painful, of course, it leaves a little mark on our heart. Of course it does. But it also doesn't mean that any holiday time for the rest of your life has to be unhappy or miserable. It doesn't have to be that way. And I hope that you see through this video with some semblance of a change of who you think you are can bring you some peace, some happiness, some joy with just a little change of your thinking. But, like I've already said, no pressure. Don't put the pressure on yourself, right? We want you to feel better and think better, not feel this demanding pressure that you have to change everything about yourself in the next 10 minutes, because that's not at all what we're saying. Perfection isn't necessary for manifestation, right? If any of you are experiencing the loss of a relationship and you're interested in manifesting your ex back, and you're dreading spending your time alone through the holidays, whatever it is when it comes to a specific person, whether it's new love, an ex, someone you're friends with, a celebrity, this video is for everyone. No one's left out, okay? So I want you to hear me. Now this video honestly is going to kind of touch on my video from yesterday. If you notice, we're kind of like staying in a subject area when it comes to feelings right now. And because feelings also get misinterpreted in this community. I can't talk. Okay. What you feel you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. Therefore, to be realized, the wish must be felt as a state that is rather than a state that is not. Sensation precedes manifestation and is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. Be careful of your moods and feelings, for there is an unbroken connection between your feelings and your visible world. Don't start panicking if you're someone who has bad moods, because I do too. It's not entirely what he's saying in here, and I'm going to Kim it down in a minute, so don't panic. Your body is an emotional filter and bears the unmistakable marks of your prevalent emotions. Emotional disturbances, especially suppressed emotions, are the causes of all disease. To feel intensely about a wrong without voicing or expressing that feeling is the beginning of disease. Dis-ease in both body and environment. Do not entertain the feelings of regret or failure for frustration or detachment from your objective results in disease. Think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize, feeling the reality of the state sought, and living and acting on that conviction is the way of all seeming miracles. All changes of expression are brought about through a change of feeling. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. All creation occurs in the domain of the subconscious. What you must acquire then is a reflective control of the operation of the subconscious. That is, control of your ideas and feelings. Chance or an accident is not responsible for the things that happen to you. nor is it predestined fate, the author of your fortune or misfortune. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. The subconscious is not selective, it is impersonal and no respecter of persons. The subconscious is not concerned with the truth or falsity of your feelings. It always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. Feeling is the assent of the subconscious to the truth of that which is declared to be true. Because of this quality of the subconscious, there is nothing impossible to man. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and feel is true, the subconscious can and must objectify. Your feelings create the pattern from which your world is fashioned, and a change of feeling is a change of pattern. The subconscious never fails to express that which has been impressed upon it. So when we're talking about feelings, what Neville is talking about, it's never that I must feel happy and positive every single day for me to get what I want. No, that's not what he's talking about. He's saying, allow yourself to feel what it would feel like if you had your desire. And if the only place you can go is the feeling of, I know I'm going to have it. When he's discussing here that, wishing for something to happen as opposed to feeling as if there's a truth that manifestation is going to come. That's the difference. That's the big difference. So no one ever needs to panic when manifesting. No one ever needs to panic. It's wasting your time to consistently worry about doing things wrong or that your life will never change, because it can. But when you're experiencing loss and heartbreak during a time of year like this, in my opinion, your only priority should be, at minimum, getting yourself into a neutral space. Not suppressing what you're feeling, not suppressing the pain, but working on allowing yourself to get into a place of neutrality, or at minimum, maybe reading some Neville Goddard, watching some more videos for encouragement to help spark a little something in you of hope. Because in my opinion, if you can't get anywhere, hope is enough. Hope is enough to start getting your ball rolling. When I spent a majority of my 30s alone, not all of it, most of it, meaning only as a mom, not having love relationships. I loved the holidays for seeing it through my son's eyes. But on the other spectrum, it always pained me that I was alone. And the Christmas movies, the romantic Christmas movies, would gut me because I was in such fear that I was going to be alone my whole life. I didn't know about manifestation then. The minute I did, the hope kind of started coming back. I was a skeptic. I wasn't really sure everything was going to work. But I had the hope. And the hope was enough to keep pushing me forward, to get to the place where I'm not alone in the holidays anymore. And that can be you too. If you've experienced a death, I am incredibly sorry for your loss. Incredibly sorry. But the joy can still come back to you. You can be happy again. You can experience happiness through the holidays by, if nothing else, hanging on to hope, knowing your life can change. Thinking of this holiday season as if you struggle to believe that you can manifest by Christmas or whatever you practice, whatever you believe in, whatever you celebrate. If nothing else, let's dabble with just a little bit of hope that this is the last time, the last year that you're alone through the holidays. 2022 is the last year. And start thinking that 2023 is your year. Listen, I'm not telling you to limit yourself, because listen, you can change anything overnight. Honestly, I would be saying 2022 ended up being the best year of my life. 2022 ended with a bang. 2022, naughty Kim. 2022 ended with joy. I'm experiencing the best joys of my life. Yes, but for any of you that struggle to believe it's possible, which I understand, then 2023 is your fucking year. And you start telling yourself that when you're hurting, when you're missing your person, when you think it's impossible to get them back. I promise you, if you daily tell yourself that you are becoming the version of you who's finally living the life that they desire, that they deserve, your life will start to change. The pain will start to subside. And feeling centered and neutral will start coming. It will start coming. You're not here to spend your life alone unless that's your desire. That's your desire? You got it easy then, I suppose. Right? But if your desire is to spend holidays with your specific person, spend every day with your specific person, it's not off limits to you. It's not. It's literally a change of state away. I cannot convey enough in my videos. I can't express it. There are not enough words for me to be able to express to you how making the decision of who I want to be, making that my daily priority, even if I fell right back out, even if I still had doubts, even if I cried, by making that my priority, my life has completely and utterly changed. Changed to the better. I'm still a human. I still have moments where I fall into a state where I'm nervous, I'm worried. What if I lose everything I just so happily manifested? I think we will always have those type of moments because we fluctuate through states. But you're awake to manifestation no matter what level of pain you're in. You're awake. You have it right in your fingertips to start thinking differently, no matter what your 3D tells you. And I know it's hard when the 3D ain't what you want. Oh God, I know how it is. And I feel so empathetic for anybody going through it, especially this time of year. I know it's hard. I have lived it. I have lived it. And honestly, living through pain when you're awake, initially, almost feels worse. At least it did for me. It almost felt worse because this was not supposed to be how life is. If I could manifest my desires and dreams, how could this happen? How can this be? I know that. I know you're probably thinking that too. But that's where I learned my toughest lesson, that I might not understand every single thing that shows up in my 3D. But what I do know personally, I'm speaking from personal circumstance, not hope. I'm not talking about maybes. I'm not talking about hoping and wishing. I'm not talking about something I fucking read or heard somebody else say. I am talking from my personal life, my personal experiences. Even when I didn't understand why something shitty transpired and I didn't like it and it fucking hurt and it scared me, when I surrendered it, and you can do the same thing. Surrender your loss, surrender the pain, surrender your circumstance. And what I mean by surrender, I went inwards and I talked to my I am as if I am was a damn person sitting next to me and said, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to live like this. I'm so fucking unhappy, miserable. I'm hurting. I can't focus on this anymore, which is what we're supposed to do. Dropping the constant focus on what's not bringing us joy. And all I had the strength to do was focus on me and who I wanted to be, but not from an overwhelming pressure, because I didn't have it in me. And I am telling you, when I surrendered it and just let go, my whole world changed. I changed. I became, in my opinion, the best version of myself so far. Do I think that my life will be perfect? No. No. Will I have moments where I cry and get upset? Sure. But I'm not going to live in expectation of that, and neither do you. You don't have to. I live daily reminding myself to not make the 3D my God, to not make the people in my 3D as much as I may be unconditionally in love with them. I will never make a specific person my God ever again, because that's taking my power away from me. Holding on to that, taking it back, and realizing, no, everything relies on what's going on within. And when I make my 3D my God, who I'm serving, and a lot of us do that, that's where things get wonky. That's where shitty circumstances show up. That's when we start to feel like shit because we are so entangled on what's happening out here. We're not wrong for how we feel in those moments. Of course we're not. Of course we're not. And if you're having emotions, let them out. But when you put the focus directly on who you are and what state you are embodying, if you're new, your state is who you think you truly are. It's not about wishing that you can have a love relationship for the holidays, for all year long. It's not about wishing. It's starting to allow yourself to feel within that you're becoming the version of you that is living that existence. Because that version of you exists now, even while you're hurting, even while you're in pain. You still have access to it. And there's no pressure. It's moment by moment. And if you've been someone living in pain for a while, you can start over today. It's not too late. It doesn't mean it has to take as long or the same amount of time that you've been living in pain and hurt. It doesn't have to take that same amount of time to turn things around in the 3D. That's not how this works. It's not about time served. Don't think of it that way. But the reason why we see what we don't want in the 3D is because dominantly that's who you've been. But with a change of state every day, just a little bit, if just for a few seconds to start with, you're going to start changing on the inside. And then your 3D will change. I promise. I've lived it more than once. I've lived it. And I'm speaking from my actual personal experience. This video isn't to get you to buy coaching from me or to join my channel membership or anything else that costs money. I'm not selling you a course. I'm not selling you anything. I'm just sharing with you that life can and will change as you change, as you change your state, as you start focusing on being the version of yourself that has what you desire. Even if you can only get there for a few seconds. If you have a horrible circumstance that you're living through right now, surrender it. Surrender it. And by surrendering, all I mean is focusing within. I can't do this anymore, right? We don't want to live like that anymore. It's too painful. I don't have the strength. Whatever it is. Surrender it and focus on you. Life will change. And you'll never have to spend a holiday alone ever again. And on that note, I hope this brought someone peace. I hope it made someone feel better. Life can change. Life can change drastically and dramatically. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a bubble. Like a bubble. And sometimes the bubble pops. And I get a quick reality check. And I see my 3D. And maybe something feels threatening to me. I allow myself to respond. That if that requires tears, I cry it out. I allow myself to feel. And then I say to myself, who am I being? Am I being the version of me that has her desires and doesn't have to fear her 3D, even if shitty circumstances are there? Is that who I'm being? Or am I letting that 3D control me again? I don't beat myself up for it. I don't. I just give an authentic answer and I work my way back to who I want to be. And the 3D reflects. And it can for you too. You have my word. If you genuinely apply this, not just hearing me, but doing it, life will change. All right, now for real, on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.